Hey guys, Danny Bay here from Manila's Wave 89.1, and with me I have the legendary David Guetta. How are you doing?
I'm good, man. Nice to meet you.
Yes, nice to meet you. I'm very honored to be in your presence right now. It's a very, very huge honor. Thank you so much for your time. And I know you're here to promote your new epic track with Sia titled Let's Love. And before we go in depth with that song, allow me to kind of backtrack a bit for your Philippine fans, if that's okay with you.
Sure.
All right. So back in 2013, you showed love for the Philippines with a campaign with the UN after the Typhoon Haiyan hit. And it raised a lot of funds and helped to rebuild and aid the country. So, you know, you always seem to have some type of involvement with things of this nature. So what I wanted to ask you is, what advice would you give to those wanting to help with charity and stuff like that and don't know what to do or how to do it? Like, where would you lead them or things like that?
Well, every time I did something, you know, I don't consider myself like a specialist. So whether it was for the Philippines or when I just did those events for the COVID, you know, in Miami and New York City, what I can do is bring what I can do, which is being an entertainer and, you know, giving money myself and asking money to people. But then I let the rest to people that are professionals. So I think everybody should do what they can on their own levels, you know, like if you have an ability, it could be being an artist or it could be being really good with I don't know, organization and helping organization for a moment, or it could be being on the ground. Like, you know, we with what I did in Miami, we collected millions of meals that we could distribute to people. I didn't give the meals myself, you know, but my work was important, and the work of the people that were distributing the meals were as much as important. I'm saying, like, if people want to help, of course you can always help, you know.
Right, exactly. And I brought that up because you've been doing these live streaming events called United at Home. What sparked the idea? Is it just the same thing? You just want to help in your own way with your platform? You know, a lot of people.
Yeah, well, you know, it was such a crazy moment. Like, first I was missing being on stage. I have to be honest. It was not all generosity. I also wanted to have fun.
For sure.
And there was like a few shows, you know, DJs playing in the bedrooms, but I felt like it was boring. And and you know, I was like, come on, we are entertainers, like, what are we talking? These are big names, you know. Right. So let's try to do something big with a real production, something that is exciting to watch. And we find the idea of Miami at the Icon Towers, and what was cool is that I had people on the balconies, so it gave me the feeling of having a real crowd, even though it was not in front of me.
Right.
And then it was at a moment that people had nothing to do. So it's crazy because it was only online, and we did 50 million views, which is crazy on my socials. I mean, to do 50 million views on social media is unbelievable.
Amazing.
That would be like a major American TV show. You know, it's huge.
Right. It's huge. So, it's a Guinness Book of World Record. It's a record.
Oh, by the way, yeah, I
it's a record.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. But what happened? It was just a very specific moment in time where people had nothing to do, so everybody was watching it, and we raised a lot of money. Thanks to that, I was really, really proud, and also, you know, it felt good to play again. You know.
Exactly. I can imagine. I know you're itching to get into a real tour and be in front of real people soon. Hopefully when this all passes, that will happen. But one thing I wanted to mention, I'm going way back with this one. You know, in the Philippines, we support our own. And when you worked with the Black Eyed Peas in 2009 with I Got a Feeling, up until now, because Apple from the group is Filipino, of course. And although it's more than 10 years ago, that song still has a lot of power today, and it still gets such a big reaction. So, you know, can you talk about how that song was such a impactful force and how it still means so much to you to this day?
It's the biggest song that I produced in my life.
Right.
And actually, it's also the song that is behind my idea of doing Let's Love with Sia. Why? Because we made I Got a Feeling when it was the peak of a financial crisis. It was terrible. People were losing their jobs, were losing their houses. It was really a terrible situation. And what did we do? We didn't do a depressing song like, oh, life sucks, you know? No, we did a celebration of life song. Right. And I think this helped people at that time. That's why it was so heavily played. And in the same way, the record that I'm coming with now, in the middle of a big crisis, is Let's Love, and it's a celebration of life. It's about going through this together and not against each other. And I believe in this. I believe in positive answers to anything.
Exactly. And, you know, music in general is like an escape for any reason, whether, you know, you're going through any type of situation. And the music you make is always something that's impactful out there. So how did linking up with Sia happen? How did you decide, or how did that work out? You guys working together on this track?
Well, you know, we've been working so many times together. So it's she's like, if I'm thinking, oh, let's write a fantastic, inspiring song, I think of her automatically.
Right.
I didn't text anyone else.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to do that song. I texted her directly. You know,
right away.
She's the first artist I called, and she's a genius. You know, like I wrote her this little text message. You know, let's make a happy song about going through this together and not against each other. Sent her a piano chord progression. 24 hours later, I had the entire song. You know,
wow.
This is crazy.
Works fast.
So, you know, like, of course, after the production is a lot of work, you know, but the foundation of the song was there. And also, like, I remember when we started to work together at the time of Titanium and all of this, we would write 3-4 songs a day.
I see.
Like, she's a machine. It's insane.
Wow, I can imagine. And, you know, the song is so amazing. What is the one thing, if you were to tell your fans or hope for your fans to get out of after listening to the song, what's the goal? Like, what do you want them to feel from after listening to the track for the first time, especially?
I just want them to feel good and to feel like they're part of the world, they're part of the universe, that we are not individuals, we are not separated nations or separated races in front of this problem. We are one, you know, so let's go through this together. Let's make the best out of the situation, but let's not fight between us. Let's not, you know, abandon our brothers, human beings, you know, on the side of the road.
Definitely. So everyone watching right now, for sure, you need to go streaming. If you haven't heard it yet, listen to it and share it with all your friends. But I have just 1 or 2 more questions. In 2017, you came to Manila, and I actually went to the show. It was amazing, and we all love you here in the Philippines. So can you give a message to your fans out here in the Philippines?
Well, you know, not only the Philippines are amazing, not only I have my friend from the Black Eyed Peas that is from here, but yes. Also I'm gonna tell you a secret. Is that with my girlfriend, we have a secret island, and when we want to hide from the world and be the most romantic possible, we go to the Filipinos.
Oh my God, that is so amazing!
And this is our favorite place in the world.
Wow, that is an amazing fact about you. That is crazy. And I'm so glad that you enjoy the country. And you know what? The Philippines has much love for you, Mr. David Guetta. It was an honor to meet you. And like I said earlier, everybody tuning in right now, please support his new track with Sia. Of course, it's called Let's Love. And once again, David, thank you so much.
Thank you, my friend. Bye.
All right. God bless. Peace.